Hey guys, Epsi here. Welcome back. A month has passed since I've done the review on CosmicBreak 2, and now we'll talk about the things that have happened, the things that have changed, and my opinions on how everything has gone since the month has passed. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize about the delay on this video. I did promise that it was going to come out in a month, but when I checked the CosmicBreak 2 website and I saw that there was an update coming along that was actually a lot bigger than I expected, I decided to actually hold off on making the video and wait for the update to come along, so that way I can review both of them at the same time, rather than just doing one video, getting the update, and then doing another video, and they were both going to talk about the same thing. There are quite a few things that I am looking to cover in this video, and quite a few things that I'm not really looking to cover, aka the not really important stuff. But I want to mention ahead of time that I don't want this video to take as long as the other one was. I think the last one was around 23 minutes. I want to cut this one a little bit shorter since it's just a recap on everything and just my further opinions. This way I can actually focus more of my time on getting more content out from this game and talk about more bots individually, or stages or carts or anything like that that I may run into, instead of trying to cram it all into this one video here. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not saying that I'm going to review every single cart and every single robot or every single stage individually. All I'm saying is it depends on how I feel about how I'm going to review all of them. I'm going to mostly focus on the things that I'm mostly interested in, or the things that I notice people are mostly interested in. But I'm just want to make that clear one more time. I'm not going to focus on everything entirely, unless, like, for some odd reason, you know what, let me just do it and it was there and people are asking for it. But if there are some requests on certain things that you'd like to know, whatever, don't be afraid to ask. Throw your comments down below in the comment section or whatever, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. And if I don't know the answers for whatever you may ask right away, I can go and find out for you and bring you the answers as soon as possible. First, we'll talk about the changes that they've done to the game mechanics and etc. The first thing that I noticed was that they nerfed Q shooting twice. In case if you may not know what that is, Q shooting is when you're shooting, you literally switch weapons, which is usually defaulted to the Q button. I think I switched mine to T, but yeah, it's when you're shooting and you press Q, and then you switch to your next weapon, and then you shoot, and you press Q, and then switch to your next weapon, and you shoot. What this did was it allowed people to skip the cooldown time from shooting, and it allowed them to basically save ammo while almost doubling or tripling their fire rate and DPS, so to speak. And this was a big problem that I was noticing at first, and I was wondering when they were going to take care of this. But 2 weeks after the last video that I did, or the review that I did, they actually nerfed it, and then the next week after that they nerfed it again. Not only did they increase the firing rate or the cooldown rate by a slight amount, they actually decreased the damage that the rifles did altogether, which was nice. So now it wasn't like, oh, if a Victory 1, which was basically the infamous bot being used to Q shoot, if a Victory 1 was fighting somebody like a Fiona wasn't just getting outgunned flat out because, you know, the Victory 1 rushed her down. The Fiona could actually fight them off if the Fiona was good enough. And I was glad to see that they nerfed this twice in a row, because the first time I didn't feel like they did anything well with it, but the second time I started to officially notice that they did something and made a change with it that made it actually work a lot better. The next thing that they did was they nerfed katanas. Basically, it was an axe spam. What people would do is they would hold shift, pull people in with the chain shot that Katana Max had, and then just spam melee, because all they had were two axes, and they would spam melee. They would spin around and just do a lot of damage. If I remember correctly, from what they nerfed the damage, and they nerfed the movement speed of him moving in, because when he actually spun around, they would go really, really fast. And the fact that they did that was also a nice thing. But to be honest with you, I don't really feel it changed that much in it. But to be honest as well, I saw that there aren't a lot of Katana Maxes flying around doing this all over the place anymore. So that was another nerf that they brought about. The next nerf I wasn't too happy about, but I understand why they did it. I actually have a video up, I think I called it Fiona Break, where I literally just abused rocks all day. But yes, I abused it, sue me. But the reason why I'm not happy about it isn't because of the fact that they took away my precious rocks and this and that. But basically, let me get to the point. What they did was they nerfed Great Picture to the point where you can't use it at all. Like, having Great Picture on and not having Great Picture on bear the same results. What Great Picture, the cart, did was it allowed people to throw things, if I'm correct, 3 times further and pick up items 2 times as fast. So that means, like, you could pick up a boulder like there was no problem, and then after that you could, like, throw it clear across the stage. Yes, I do have to admit that the Great Pitcher did need a nerf, but I don't think they needed to nerf it to the point where it was on the same stance as not having it on, because then what's the point of having the cart? What I think they could have done was they could have actually made it to the point where if you use Great Pitcher, you would see a slight like a slight boost in distance or a slight boost in pickup power when it came to objects and throwing them and whatnot. But on the plus side of this, nerfing Great Pitcher to the way they did allowed you to pick up vases. Once again, if you see in my old video, there's a moment where I'm picking up all these vases next to me. And yes, I know I complained about the vases in the review, but I just wanted to see how much it's got nerfed. But yeah, if you were picking up vases, like if you saw it in the previous video, they would just literally fly up in the air and they would crash to the floor. It wasn't me letting go of them. It was just the power or the pickup strength of the cart was way too high. So the fact that they nerfed it to the point where you could pick up vases is nice, but vases are still kind of useless. So I do think that personally, Great Pitcher should get a slight buff. Not massively, but just slightly. Maybe like, instead of it being triple the strength or throwing distance, it could be like 1.3% or 1.3 times the strength, if you understand the mathematical equation or whatever their math. Those are the biggest changes that I've noticed. They were mostly nerfs. There were a few buffs, but they weren't anything, in my opinion, that were massive. But the next thing that we'll talk about were the changes or the things that happened once the game went live. The first thing that I noticed, or as soon as it went live, was you can roll the Garapon for free. Don't get me wrong, there is a catch. Instead of only being able to use root or cash to get root, RT, whatever, now they give this special kind of currency called FP, and the way you would acquire this is from playing matches and gaining FP randomly as one of the first cards that you would, at the end of the match that you would flip over. The way they did it though is that they made it that you need 5,000 FP to roll once and 20,000 to roll 5 times. Yes, this is great, and I thought this was amazing, but I do have 2 concerns about this. One, I feel that FP shouldn't only be towards the Garapon, because then it kind of has no use or no purpose after you've rolled the Garapon and you either get what you want or didn't get what you didn't want, or in terms of the value of FP. Because since Garapon is a lot more balanced now, like Lily Rain came out, and yes, I'm going to call this right now. People have been saying, Lily Rain is better than Fiona. No, she's not. No, she's not. She really isn't. To be honest with you, I've seen Lily's trump Fiona's and Fiona's trump Lily's. It all depended on the player. But, let's get that out of the way. The Garapon isn't broken like it was in part 1, but the fact that FP can only be used in the Garapon posed an issue, because it's just like I said, FP kind of loses value after that, because after that there's no point in having FP, whether you get the bots you want or whether you don't get the bots you want. And after that, another problem that I do have with the FP is kind of the rate at which you get it. Yes, I like the fact that there's been a match where I've gotten like 200 FP in one go, but it felt like I had to go several matches, like not several, but like around 6 to 7 matches before I saw FP. And what I think they could do is not increase the amount of times you get FP. That's not really the issue per se, but instead, while they increase the match, the amount of matches that you need to, let me restart over. Instead of making it that you get it every 6 or 8 to 7 matches or whatever, they could make it that you get FP every 5 matches. But on the downside, don't make it like 200 FP or 150 FP or 120 FP. Make it like 70 FP every 5 matches or 70 FP every 3 matches. And this way, people won't feel like it's a massive, endless grind to get FP, since we already have to go for 20,000 FP to roll 5 times, or even 5,000 FP. I've been playing the entire month, and I've only made it up to 4,000. And this is continuously playing and continuously looking for FP. But it wouldn't feel this way to me, or to other people, I believe, if they actually increase the amount of times you see FP rather than how much FP you see every time you see it. So that's just how I feel about FP at the moment. But other than that, I think it's a great addition. I think it's a great alternative to putting in money. The next topic is acquiring robots. Not only can you get bots from the Garapon, you can get them from matches and etc. Like, this is actually a consistent thing that I've noticed. I constantly kept getting Beezles or Mountaizes or Jaguar Arms as I was playing matches. But the weird one is the Roid unlock. Like, the Void Unlock has been there since beta. It's the one with the little key where you click on it and you buy the bots as you unlock the requirements to get them. The thing is, I like the fact that they have the Void Unlock, and yes, they did add a bot, which they only did once this entire month, but still, it was a free bot using the UC. But I just feel like they shouldn't have this Void Unlock in the game. I think they could honestly remove this and fuse the whole list of the Void Unlock into the shop. Because, to be honest with you, the way the shop is looking, it's still rather barren compared to what it should actually look like. This is my opinion, yes, but I just feel like the Void Unlock is a little out of place, and it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, you know, and it has a better place it could be in. But other than that, like I said, I like the fact that the Void Unlock is there and that it's free, and it's another method of being able to get bots, on top of getting them out of matches or going to the Garabon. The next thing I noticed was something that was in beta that no one was able to figure out what this was for. The tickets. The ticket system, I'm a little fond of, but at the same time, I'm a little worried about, because this can kind of be their new source of being money hungry. Just hear me out. In the beginning, when you played CosmicBreak beta, you'd notice these 3 little tickets up top, and there was another thing that had tickets, and it was always 0. What that one, the 0 one is for something called Star League or Golden League. And I don't know why I called it Star League, but Golden League. But what it is you would get one virtually every week for free. And the other way you can get it is by putting in 15 RT, which is roughly $1.50 in US American dollars. But yeah, and what it would do is when you'd go in, you have your special commando set, and you'd go and you'd play 2 matches, consecutively. Well, the first one would be like a death match, and the next one would be like your regular destroy the tower, whatever nonsense. And at the end of it, if depending on the amount of points you got, they would give you 3 cards, and you'd have to choose out of one of these cards to get like a really rare prize. Like either it was a rare weapon, a rare bot, or money, or X boosters. It depended on whatever you got. Like I got a cool Aura Edge out of it. At first I was like, oh, this mode's pretty cool, you know, it's not that bad. And these tickets, you know, they're a little rare, but after a while it didn't even become rare. It got to the point where it was just like they're almost non-existent if you don't put the money in, because you only get 1 a week. What I think they could do is make it that you get one maybe every 20 matches, 30 matches. Yes, it's a high number, but you would see it a little bit more frequently, and the people who play a little bit more would actually be rewarded with things like this, rather than only making it RT only. Because remember, like I said, this was a problem in part 1 that was actually an issue, where it was like the only way you could really get something is by putting in money. And the way that this would work is if you made them have to wait every 20 or 30 matches to get 1 Golden League ticket, then it kind of pays off, because it's like, hey, look, you don't want to buy it, so you kind of have to wait and hope you land one, rather than making it that it was just a login reward once every week. And literally, I have 2 tickets right now, but I'm literally afraid of using them because I don't know when I'm going to see my next one ahead of, you know, aside from the next week that I get one. So I do think that they should give at least a second way of being able to, or should I say a third way of getting more Golden League tickets. Not as frequently like FP, because that would be a little too much. There would be no point in buying them, but just to the point where you can get one and at least be able to enjoy the mode a little bit more. You know, on top of it, the way it is if, let's just say you did get yours for the week, and you played it and you had a really crummy match, and all they gave you was 4,000 UC. Now that ticket is burned, and there's nothing but salt ingrained in the top of your lip. Like, you're upset about it. You're like, I'm sorry for the poor choice of words, but you're salty about the fact that you just literally burned a ticket and didn't even do all that well, and you're gonna have to wait like 6 or so days before you get another one, unless you put in the money. CyberStep, I really do think you should like be a little bit more lenient on how golden tickets are acquired, and at least put, like I said, a third means of getting one rather than just a login reward. That's just my opinion. Another issue that I have with this ticket system as well is not really the ticket system, because Pitchers League is fine. You can get there's literally a mission, like a quest that you can do where you can get them like repeatedly. So that's not even an issue. But like heck, they could even put Golden League tickets in the quest system. Like, you get 1 or 2 of them, you know, randomly in your quests. They could do that. I don't know. But yeah, let me go back to the point as I was making. But in Golden League, another issue with that is not just the fact that you rarely got tickets, but it was just all the really, really, really good stuff is hidden in that league. And they actually showed a list once of all the things that you can get from it. And I was saying to myself, like, don't you think you should spread that a little bit out more? Like, make some of those things acquirable to certain leagues as well, or like I said, just give more tickets if that's the case. And once I saw that list came up where they showed all the stuff that came out, or like all the stuff that's available in the Golden League, I couldn't help but feel like that it was a little money grubby for, in my opinion, with what they were doing. I don't know, I just couldn't shake that feeling. Speaking of Pitchers League, one thing that I noticed was really interesting was the fact that they actually took Pitchers League and they evolved it. What I mean by that, and to actually go back and reiterate, just in case there are people that don't know what Pitchers League is. Pitchers League is basically a mode where you would use up those e-tickets that I was telling you about, the ones that you saw the 3 of top, upper right. And basically it would spawn players on a map, right? It was a big, long strip map. Like, it was a blue stage too. And there was nothing between you two. Maybe there was like one ramp, but it was on both sides, and both teams could climb on them and whatever. But what was really interesting about this map was there was nothing between you two, and bombs and items would spawn like crazy. So basically, your job was just to take those items and throw them at down the end of the stage and hit players with them and kill them, hopefully. And I think that's what led to the Great Pitcher cart to be nerfed. But I'm not too sure. Like, that's just speculation. But yeah, what I meant by the stage evolved was the fact that, like, the way it worked was at first, like I said, it was just nothing between you two. It was just a straight path. But then they updated it, and they actually added like little tunnels that you can go through, things to hide behind. They added more things you can throw, and etc. And the reason why I said that this was really cool is not because, the stage didn't get old or they refreshed it, but more so in the fact that it added more selection. If they actually kept the first stage and then brought the next stage out, then guess what? Now you have 2 stages. And even though it was like Pitcher Map A and Pitcher Map B, it's still 2 stages. And I would like to see more stages evolve this way, and where they keep them both, so players that like one can play one, and players that don't like another don't have to play another. And this way, old stages don't get lost. So yeah, I was really like fond of seeing that change come about. Another thing they did was they removed the Pitchers League after a while, and they put in a new mode called Battle Royale, which is basically free for all. I can't say I was rather fond of this mode, because it was just so chaotic. But that's just me. I'm not a big fan of free for all. It's just back gank, and whatever. But yeah, like, I like the fact that they changed it up and rotated them out from time to time, because of the fact that, like, once again, it breathes new life, and it's kind of like a way of making it an event league, the whole pitcher battle royale thing. But I do wish that they would find a way to keep both leagues around. But this is only 1 month. We don't know how the next month may be. Maybe they might bring back a new game. Maybe they might bring back a new one. But I would like to see those kind of things happen from time to time. Speaking of changing and replacing, though, oh man, I was hyped when this update came through, or the update right before this one. They actually did something that I mentioned the first time around in the review video. And like I said, I literally had to wake Pandora up and like talk to her and say, hey, look, they did it. Oh, good job. I don't know if you remember, but I was talking about this thing where they could actually rotate bots out from the Garapon into like the shop and vice versa. What they did was, if you go to the Cosmo piece menu, basically it's the one with the little star, the 6-point star. If you click on that, they actually had like made piece, and then with the past 2 updates, they added a new one called June pieces, and they actually had bots from there that were from the Garapon. Lily Rain's Garapon. And it was really cool to see that they actually gave free players a way of getting them. Don't get me wrong, it's not like you have to use the UC to get them. You still have to grind out those pieces from matches and hope you get them, which literally the rate of it at the moment is fine. I'm noticing that June piece alpha pieces aren't as easy to get compared to the June piece omega pieces. But it may be a bug, it may not be. I kind of would like to see a little bit more alpha pieces, but it's not really a raving concern. I did get like 3, but I have like 10 at the same during the same amount of play. So I like the fact that they did this whole rotation thing, like I was mentioning. That really shows that, hey, either they saw the video or either they're getting it. They're getting it. People don't want to pour in cash just to play your content. People want to be able to have ways of accessing your content. There was also another thing that I mentioned in the review that I didn't cover, and I just realized I didn't cover it yet. S rank. Remember how before I was worried about how S rank may be a little bit too much compared to A rank or whatever? They're fine. Like, Literally, I've used a B rank bot and a C rank bot, and I've killed an S rank before. Yeah, it was lower HP, but usually, like in games like SDGO, if an S rank came in front of your face and you were like a C rank, you had to run. There were no questions that you had to leave because the S rank would just murder you and call it a day. But S rank isn't really a problem here. Once again, I still would like to see all bots be able to achieve getting S rank from C rank. This way, like, all bots can basically, there wouldn't be a bot that, or there wouldn't be any bots that would literally get washed away with the old content or washed away by the newer content that comes in. But it would allow like more of a kind of a rank quality, for the lack of better wording there. But yeah, like, S rank is not really an issue, and I'm glad to see that S rank isn't something that was just gonna completely break and overwhelm the game. These were the major points that I noticed as the month passed and etc. And the things that I was happy about, wasn't too happy about, or just the things that I had to take, like had to pay attention to regarding the month that passed by in CosmicBreak 2. My conclusion is yes, I will stick around for as long as the game continues to stay on this course and provide as much content for it as possible in terms of videos, explaining certain bots, what they're capable of, what they're not capable of, talking about cards and stages, like I mentioned before at the beginning of this video. I will stick around because I'm glad to see that they've changed their ways and they're actually trying to fix things up. I'm still going to pay attention and like keep an eye on certain things because like I said, there are some things that I'm not too fond of, like Golden Lake. Golden Lake, I have to admit, I like the mode. I just don't like the limited access that there is to it in terms of like I mentioned with the tickets, only one a week and blah, blah, blah. But yes, I'm glad to see that everything's going the way it is. And another thing that I want to mention or like apologize about, first is the video went a lot longer than I expected. I'm sorry about that. I just can't help it. When I see something I like, I gotta talk about it. But anyway, the next thing that I want to talk about is the fact that I haven't been able to stream and whatnot lately. A lot of things came up during the month, and being able to pay attention to CosmicBreak and whatnot there was a lot of things I had to take care of. But rest assured, I'm coming back to stream. Pandora will be with me as well, and we should be getting back and getting everything underway. So we do apologize about that. But like I said, thanks for sticking through this video, and thanks for, hearing me out and whatnot. How do you feel about the way CosmicBreak 2 has been, or what I've told you, or what you've seen for yourself, or whatever? Do you like the changes that they did? Do you not like them? Do you wish that they kind of did things another way? Express yourselves in the comments below. Also, be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe, all that other good stuff. But if anything, like I said, just be safe out there, have fun, and dive into imagination. I'll catch you guys later at the next video, and hopefully at our next stream. Be safe, guys.